Did Camron really just destroy every bridge left standing? Because what just slipped out could have torched his lifetime relationship with Jim Jones for good. And this time no one's calling it Clout Chase, a jaw-dropping film featuring Chrissy. Lampkin raw, highly intimate, and never meant for the world has hit the net. And here's the rumor ripping Harlem up. People close to the staff think Camron himself is behind it. Petty vengeance, gone haywire, or a cold-blooded chess move to disgrace Jim Jones in the foulest way conceivable. Jim Jones isn't holding back either. He's igniting every platform on flames, spitting decades of secrets he's absorbed for too long. And now it's larger than a leaked recording. It's dirty dealings, stolen luggage, and a brotherhood that might have been a sham. All along, ever seen two street legends change into sworn foes right in front of your eyes? This ain't no Dipset breakup. This is Dipset's funeral, and once you know what's coming, your whole Camron's picture will rot from the inside out. It's not just messy, it's monster, and believe me, once you know, there's no turning back. So glue your eyeballs here and don't even think about tapping away. This is the ignition button for absolute ruin, for a group that previously shouted loyalty, code, and family above all else. You'd think Camron had limits a line even his ego wouldn't cross. What allegiance died screaming last night because this leak? It's the dirtiest, most surgical betrayal Harlem's seen in years. Let's rewind the tape. This didn't drop on some gossip website. It detonated on a Chrissy Lampkin, queen of Jim's universe, was robbed of her privacy in a gut-punching video that no one was prepared for. Her Twitter account had 0 followers, no hashtags, and no captions. Just raw footage. Fans cried deep. False then old film. But the internet FBI works quickly. Chrissy's face became trending within 1 hour. TikTok remixes swamped timelines, and reaction videos raked up millions before a single source came forward. Twitter detectives cried in unison. Camron leaked it. Why would Camron do this? What sadistic joy could he get from displaying Jim's queen like that? Is jealousy a silent grudge simmering for decades? Or did this check me in a beef that never completely died? To make sense of this, you must pry up Dipset's secret past, since on the surface for the cameras, they appeared unshakable, with baggy jeans, bandanas, diplomacy, and brotherly handshakes, but behind, it was a jungle of power games, backstabbing, and frequent ego clashes over who truly steered the ship. Camron and the brain. Jim Jones, the brawn and the pounding heart, but their empire just became heavier, and with every dollar those fissures expanded. They dropped clues sneakily. Interview pictures, subtle Instagram shade lyrics, oozing with multiple meanings, and who can forget Camron bombshell Hot 97 sit-down. Back in 2017, a full-fledged family broadcast when he admitted, and ridiculed while Jim Jones broke down weeping. Fans knew Dipset was sewn together with duct tape and pride. Flash forward to 2025. The wound never closed, and now Chrissy's name is dragged through the muck. The crack just become an earthquake, and you want to hear the twisted part. Chrissy Lampkin and Camron have always had quiet fight in the air. Back when Chrissy Lampkin reigned the early 2000s scene, she wasn't Jin's queen. She was a sharp shot caller also. Word was Camron despised that called her a puppet master who softened Jin's hustling. Barberhop murmurs suggest Kim even urged Jin to abandon her. Streets remain raw and vicious, not tamed. What was once chatter now appears to be a hatred seed that bloomed into a vindictive forest. According to insiders who begged to remain nameless, scandalous footage was secreted on an ancient Dipset drive, a hard drive locked away years ago with access limited to just a few of OGs. Guess who removed the drive when the gang split back in the mid-2010s?
Yeah.
You know who? Coincidence or a time bomb ready to burst? What makes the betrayal 100 times nastier? Just days before the release, Kim and Jim Jones were pictured at a Rock Nation brunch arm in arm, laughing it up for the cameras, even boosting up thoughts of a Dipset reunion. So if Kim actually engineered this leak, was it a snake move disguised beneath phony smiles? Jim Jones wasn't going to take it. Hours after the video nuked, Timeline's Jim Jones fired out an Instagram story. Black background, 3 chilly words, ICU pandemonium comments poured. It's Camron. No question. Dip establishes dead Jim Jones alone period. Then Jim Jones threw fuel on the fire with an IG live breakdown that cracked 1-2 live viewers in under 5 minutes, unedited, uncensored, no PR intermediary. Just agony and poison. Straight from the source. I don't care what nobody thinks. That man envied me from day one. Jim Jones yelled into the phone. You don't drag my lady through the mud. That tape isn't an accident he dropped trying to cut me apart. The conversation lost its mind emojis. Tears. Fans fighting in real time. Dipset stands dividing into tribal war zones. Jim Jones delved further. Petty receipts came revealed to be fully exposed. Y'all forget this, the same person that stole me of my tour cut back in 2011. Told labels I was unstable, I kept this empire alive, me and you recompense me by dragging Chrissy Lampkin through filth. You a straight clown Camron A no longer was it simply leaked film. It was a scorched earth proclamation. The podcast ate it up. And the vloggers examined it. Every line Twitter Spaces disputed all night was Jim Jones overreacting. Or had Camron genuinely outed himself as Harlem's biggest snake? And the fact that Camron stayed ghost silence, no tweet, no Instagram caption, no effort to deny it in today's rumor game. Stillness sounds like guilt. Meanwhile, the queen herself, Chrissy Lampkin, known for never flinching in public storms, made one quiet but thundering move. Goes to Camron online, unfollowed him everywhere, wiped every old memory, and dropped a single dagger on her narrative. Some scars don't heal. She didn't tag him because she didn't have to. Harlem knew precisely who she meant, and this wasn't rap beef anymore. This was pain and deceit, with millions watching, and believe me, the mess is far from finished. And just when you thought this Dipset war, when it couldn't get much nastier, an unidentified insider lobbed another bomb. So-called text conversations between Camron and a secretive industry expert, detailing out a conspiracy to dump something explosive to underscore Jim's empire before a big bag could close. If these messages are legitimate, we're not talking petty beef anymore. This is surgical career murder. And guess what? Kim hasn't refused a single word. So riddle me this: if you're innocent, why ghost the world as your name gets murdered over every feed? Maybe, just maybe, can't prepare for this day to arrive and plan to torch every bridge with it. And just when you think Harlem's grandest soap drama struck its last act twist, Jim Jones believed he brought every Camron skeleton into daylight. The treachery stung deeper, like peeling duct tape off a wound that never healed. Those flowed textive and genuine, but the tea didn't end there. Word from Sophie Surge. Word from Sophia. People close to the mayhem say the video release was simply the warm-up act. The texts lay out a darker plan, with Camron informing an industry colleague that he didn't only aim to disgrace Jim Jones. One horrifying sentence purportedly said, "The right filth will break him, smash his queen, drain his bag, split his fan base, watch him crawl." Yeah, his lady, his money, and his people are all fair game in Camron's scorched earth revenge fantasy. This so-called insider further psyched Cam up and encouraged him to plant subtle whispers, distrust seeds, until the world was poised for a last death blow. The released tape, this wasn't clout. It was a slow-motion hit job planned to leave Jim Jones devastated, distraught, and alone. These bombshell receipts stormed the net. The controversy transformed into a full-scale street battle. Fans raised on Dipset songs and matching bandanas became split down the middle. Doomsday once announced Camron a cold-blooded traitor, a Judas, and Pink Mink Camron devoted holdouts. What Fuja puffed termed him a survivor, doing what was needed to defend himself from Jim's claimed backstabbing. But halt for seconds, sit with this. What could cause a guy to blow up a brotherhood that established an empire? Truth is brutal. The closest ties shred the ugliest. And the farther this PR train pushes forward, the sharper the true question cuts. Was this ever about a video, or was this pure slow-blow jealousy wrapped up as business? Then, as if karma ticked over time, awful old papers unexpectedly emerged on shady websites and Twitter receipts pages. Paperwork demonstrating how Jin got ripped out of massive Dipset money while Camron pocketed solo deals behind closed doors. Camron got multi-million-dollar back-end checks while promising Jim Jones, "It's light work. We'll split it later." Spoiler alert, later never came. Treachery, it was magnificent larceny with matching chains. Now turn the camera. Maybe it was never simply professional beef. Maybe Chrissy's tape was a piece in a far broader chess battle. Camron ignored Jim's passive hostile comments about being left out in the cold as Kim struck deals with suits in secret. Some believe Jim Jones felt abandoned. Others claim Camron felt pulled down. Either way, the bond withered from the inside for years before this blow-up. Jim's raw Spitfire IG tirade didn't just broadcast a filthy tape. It ignited up a time bomb under Dipset's whole history. 1 minute, Dipset was the model for Harlem unity, and the next, it's Exhibit A for treachery for profit. The internet smelt blood and became full detective. Everyone from dull TikTok adolescents to weird bloggers scoured previous video, freeze-framed fuzzy DMIs and compared earlier interviews. Hidden shadow, the big question trending: did Kim destroy Jim Jones for decades while appearing to raise the Dipset flag? If so, this might be the most twisted takedown in hip-hop ever. Siblings stealth assaulting a brother with the nastiest blow. A scandal that guts family, tears off financial flow, and drives ardent followers to the other camp overnight. And Cam's radio silence. Not even denial, joke, or shady tweet that merely made his ghost mode into a guilty judgment. Digging further, fans discovered a horrible pattern, a trail of ex-friend ghosted artists and broken bridges, stretching back to decades. Old group images turned up of Cam hugging artists who subsequently trashed him on tracks. Turns out crossing camera means you vanish. Like last week's mixtape. And when Camron departs when he says nothing, he has already completed the job and wants you to watch the world blame everyone but him. But here's the kicker. The leaks did not stop with Chrissy's moment. Oh no, rumor has it, a complete vault burst up. More receipts, screenshots, bank receipts, old damies, all sent to shady rumor sites, who made sure this dispute kept simmering for clicks and ad bucks. Who's feeding them? Harlem insiders murmur one person over and over, the Puppet Master. This Puppet Master, they claim, was tight with both Camron and Jim Jones back in the hustling days. Now they're middlemaning the drama, selling exclusives and raking in views by turning a classic Bond into a pay-per-view train catastrophe. The Puppet Master even offered both sides hush agreements and reunion stunts if they would play ball and let him milk the feud dry. However, power like this does not get shared. Therefore, the Puppet Master lighted the fuse, locked the doors, and watched Harlem's biggest dynasty rip itself apart. So who's really controlling this twisted carnival? Camron, Jim Jones, or hidden serpents smart enough to make both men dance? Whatever the solution to things are unassailable facts. 1. The dips that we knew were buried 6 feet down. And 2. The debris left behind will stain every tour, interview, and memory that fans held dear. And believe me, we haven't seen the worst yet. Stay tuned in because this storm has more bodies to pull out. And here we are, the final cruel act in this jaw-dropping drama where the destruction is no longer behind closed doors. It's a 5-alarm flame for the whole world to behold as two titans split apart in the messiest way conceivable. The ripple rocks the whole hip-hop jungle, than just video and Gene. Now it's a naked post-mortem on trust, betrayal, power maneuvers, and how fast this game chews up its own legends when allegiance dies. Something nastier slithered out of the shadows. The money bleed far worse than any Distune Mior or petty Instagram live. Folks deep in both camps, managers, ex-label sharks, old tour crews began whispering to blogs, both kings were bleeding green. Not just clout, and these weren't random fan tales. These were insiders with receipts witnessing sponsors, ghosts, and deals evaporate in real time. Take Jim Jones, the man who transformed hood love into boardroom alliances. He witnessed many endorsement checks disappear suddenly. One premium brand was once splashed all over his Instagram page. Kicked him out. Why? Too nasty. No brand wants its logo. Dragged through a story involving leaked videos and a brotherhood collapse. And Camron, Mr. Comeback Season himself. Turns out the hype didn't meet reality. Just when he believed he'd reboot his solo reign, his phone wouldn't stop buzzing with cancellation calls. Backers pulled out, promoters ghosted him, and even worse, murmurs that Cam owed substantial chala to an old label boss. Hush money turned lawsuit. Once this drama made his brand poisonous, it was apparent as daylight that this dispute ceased being simple rumor and became a financial chamber with Beats' treachery as background music. Both men were cornered. Quit the foolishness, or watch the empire fall into foreclosure warnings and court summons. Then the attorneys showed up like sharks. Jim fired the first legal cannon, slapping Kim with a defamation bomb and taking him to court for slander, malicious rumor, and mental abuse from Chrissy Lampkin. Nobody expected Ken to fold. He flipped the instead. He countersues, saying Jim Jones has been milking him for years behind closed doors, finessing arrangements and turning loyalty into hush money demands. Cam's stance is that I am the victim, not the with paperwork flying in all ways. Legal eagles projected a protracted fight, and every week this drags on. Fans lose hope, respect, and, to be honest, the last shreds of D-Pat's beautiful legacy. Now here's the stomach punch. The true losers aren't just camera gems. They're the day one fans who inked dips, set tattoos, blasted mixtapes from damaged speakers, and donned that famous eagle insignia. Like armor, they're now witnessing childhood idols destroy one another on live feeds. At first, fan allegiance was unwavering, with one camp chanting, Team Jim Jones. Cam's a snake. The other screamed Camron defended himself, Jim's no saint either. Back and forth till timelines bled scarlet. But the further fans probed, shakier the earth felt. Leaked clips strike the blog's anguish hard. One popular video shows Jim Jones, slumped in a studio chair, tears battling to fall, reading through his phone. He whispers to nobody. All these years, this is what they thought of me, after everything I gave them. You could hear the crowd holding its breath while Camron, the Ghost King, scarcely blinked. One tweet frigid as a winter Harlem night. Truth hurts, deal with it. No apology, press release, or olive gesture. Just a grenade that blew a million conspiracy strands overnight. Fans started putting it together. Was never simply the flamboyant genius in pink fierce. Perhaps he was the puppet master all along, twisting threads and destroying bridges when they ceased serving him. That eerie quiet was his ultimate act. Chaos ate everyone alive as he remained invincible. This isn't a mere war anymore. This is seeing two pillars of a movement burn fire to their own temple, brick by brick, while an army of cameras stretches. Every scream, every receives, every crack in their armor, and the worst thing is that no matter how far this courtroom dog battle continues, the wounds won't heal, the branding won't come back, the sponsors will not forget, and the youth who previously loved Dipset now see their heroes as cautionary tales that in this industry devotion is a fleeting luxury. So brace up, because when the judgments drop, once the settlement struck, the only question left is who lost more. Camron, Jim Jones, or every human who believed in his set to the sad, tragic end. Stay tuned, for this is the last page, an era, and the stain will never wash off. While the internet broke into war camps overnight, some defending their favorite Harlem monarch, others washing their hands of both Dipsets once the unstoppable army looked like a ghost town. The more fans argued, the more power fell through their fingers. And everyone watching knew exactly who to blame: Camron and Jim Jones. The dynasty they founded, teetering on the verge of destruction, blocked by brick. The only issue left standing is if there is enough trust left to stitch this back together. Ordered these two buried Dipsets for good. But let's pull Chrissy Lampkin back in focus for a second. Because behind every story and viral footage stood the woman both men pledged to protect. Chrissy Lampkin, Jim's Queen, Harlan's First Lady. The name dragged through the internet, but the dramatic twist nobody saw coming. Whisperers suggest Chrissy Lampkin wasn't surprised. Insiders say she could have peeked at the footage before it emerged. Some even believe she requested Jim Jones to shut down Camron before the bomb hit. Was Chrissy Lampkin the innocent bystander, or was she playing her own hand in a greater game to push Jin to select a side once? Think about it. This fight isn't simply two rap titans battling. It's family lines, loyalty tests, and decades of nasty secrets smashing into public light. And everyone in their circle, from managers to old homies, wants nothing to do with the repercussions. It's a PR mushroom cloud no brand or buddy wants near their name. So here's the million-dollar question. Could Dipset ever rise again? Could these two iron out treachery this deep, or did they taint their own history past the point of no return? For now, it's not just street cred on trial, but their seats in hip-hop's Hall of Legends. And by the looks of it, there's no quick remedy. The lawsuits pile up, the headlines get uglier by the day, and the whole rap world waits for the next twist. One thing is certain: the book on this brotherhood has not yet been closed. However, when that last chapter is written, one of these guys will be standing higher than the other, and the rest of us will never look back. Dipset the same again. And there you have it, the raw, unapologetic breakdown. Camron and Jim Jones collapse. That is rewriting hip-hop history one leaked receipt at a time. Where you come in. Whose side are you on? Did Kim go too far? Or did Jim Jones play victim while pocketing all of these years? Voice off in the comments. Hold on. I read every heated take and clap back, so choose your side. Hashtag team can hashtag team burn it all down at the gym, or with your hashtag team your head is blown today. Shatter that like button, send this video to your team, and subscribe right now, because believe me, what comes next makes this seem like child's play. We're delving deeper, pouring hotter tea, and pulling everything skeleton out of the vault. So remain locked in, keep your receipts ready, and remember, when it comes to discovering the truth, we never flinch. Catch you in the next drop.